Hi, welcome back everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying the sessions as much as I am enjoying to make the sessions for you guys. So, this section might be optional for some of you guys. If you want to skip this section, that is completely fine, but take a quick 2 cents from me. Don't skip this section. Go through this. We might have just a couple of videos in this, but this video is something, or this section is something which will help you a lot in your real life scenarios. In this section, we are going to talk about how to approach a problem and how to solve out a problem. Now, why do we need this section first of all? What you have right now is a weapon. You have been mastered with a weapon. Yeah, I know that it's not full-fledged right as of now, but it is enough to kill any person. So you have an weapon of Python programming. And what do we do with weapon? Do we just put it in the wall for some showcase, or we fight war? If you are one of me, I'm gonna take my weapon and just go on to war and fight out with people, right? And after some time, when that weapon has been irradiated, then I might put it in the wall for showcase purpose. But right now, I'm just gonna fight a war with it. So we are gonna do the same thing with over here. We are gonna take your Python skills and make you solve out problems. All these problems that we are gonna solve next are probably guided out, but I'm going to tell you a general approach on how to approach a problem or how to solve a problem. Why do we need this skill set? It's because, let's say let's take an example of a person named Chintu. So Chintu is a guy who knows to code, who knows what is list, tuples, dictionaries, but he has never ever written his first line of code. He doesn't know how to write code. He might see other people's code and just read it off, and he knows every possible theory that we need to have, but he doesn't know how to solve a real life problem. What's the use of that skill set if you cannot apply them in real life scenario or business problems, right? You need your skill set to earn money, you need your skill set to solve out problems. So all of these can be done once you start solving problems by yourself. Now you might ask me how to solve a problem, what are the steps to solve a problem. So this section is just for that purpose. We are going to take a pretty much smaller to higher ratio problem, that is a quite of easy problem. We are going to start with a quite easy problem, and then we are going to jump into a very difficult level problem, and we are going to try to solve them up. I will tell you how to approach a problem, what are the steps, and what are the prerequisites that you need. By the way, you have already completed enough to get your hands dirty into Python programming, and you might start with other problems too that are already available online. Other than what the books and notes that we have been provided with, this is something that you should be doing. Again, in the future lectures, we are going to discuss about competitive programming on CP, but that is much later. So let's start with this section. Now, step one, these are some of the steps. Step one, two, three, four, five, six. So you might just pause out the screen and read everything out. So first of all, step one would be just read the questions. Okay, for me, it is just read the questions one or twice or thrice. Understand exactly what they are telling out. Okay, let's say I have a list and they are telling me to reverse it out. Now, these are the problems which are quite easy, and in real life scenario, people are not gonna ask you these kind of questions. You might have already get it that what we solve in real life scenario is completely different from what we learn, right? What we learn is the basics, but what we solve is something hardcore. So that is something. Read the questions, get fluent with the syntax and the purpose of methods and keywords, which you have already gone through. You know the syntax, all of these. Now you should be reading out the question, understand the problem, what you are going telling us to do, and try to solve it in your mind. Try to implement some methods. Okay, what I can do, and then break the problems in different chunks. After breaking the problems, just do the chunks one after the other. You're going to start from the smaller chunk, then move into the last and combine them, all of them. Pass out the exam, run the test codes and test them. Okay, you might be hearing out some fancy words, test code, test them, because we haven't started with the CP column. But once we start with the CP column, you will be much versed about with all of these. Now, all of these are completed. Start writing your code, check out, implement one method after the other, debug the problem. If you are having any issues, then again compile, debug it. If you are having any error or compilation error, or not exactly, it's an interpreter, so we don't have a compilation error over here, but you might have a logical error. If there is any logical error or runtime error, so you might rectify them and try to solve them again. Now we have already discussed about all the theories, and as I have already told you that all theory and no practical make Jack and dull boy. So let's not become chintu. Let's try to solve out problems and get some hands-on view on how to solve and approach out of problems. So let's jump into Jupyter Notebook.